Hey y'all, back for another year. Do you believe in a thing called love? Just listen to the rhythm of my heart. That's how the song goes, right? Something like that. Good to see you again. We're gonna get started short. Montembeau is in goal tonight, this afternoon, technically. So Fowler's not even the backup tonight. So it's Montembeau in goal with Dobesh the backup. See how that goes. Do we have the lineup yet? I'm waiting for the Habs lines. I'm curious to see if Josh Anderson gets back in. Josh Anderson does not get back in. The lines we get tonight. Here are the lines for you. So we got the first line, same as always, with Texier on the top line. We have Slavkovsky, Kapanen, Demidov, Bolduc, Deno, Gallagher, Blay, Veleno, Beck, with Beck replacing Josh Anderson. Josh Anderson is still out. He missed yesterday's game as well and left Thursday's game a little early. And then we got Mattson Dobson, Hudson Carrier, red hot pairing, Struble Jacki, and then Montembeau in goal with Dobesh as the backup. So we have a standing situation. So the Canadians are 3 points back of Tampa for first in the Atlantic. They've both played the same amount of games, 41, and Detroit has played two more games than both of them and are in between at 52. So the Habs are definitely could go a long way by winning today's road game. Can't imagine it'll go worse than the last time they played Dallas. As you guys remember, Dallas put up a 7 spot on the Habs. Habs did not score that game. That was definitely the low point of the Habs season so far. Um, and Canes were just absolutely lousy at home. Kind of came to a head certain things, but team's looking better now. They've obviously been very good on the road trip. They lost their first regulation game on this road trip yesterday in St. Louis. They lost 2-0 to the Blues, but prior to that had been 3-0-2 on the road trip, on the 7 game road trip. So now they're 3-1-2. If they ended 3-2-2, that'd be, kind of disappointing given where they started and how well they played against the Florida teams. But we'll see what happens. I'd imagine they're getting pretty tired. And then next week they play, I believe, Wednesday, Thursday. They got another back to back coming up early next week, but those are at home. So, not that playing at home has helped them very much. They're still not a very good home team. It's still a much better road team. For whatever reason, we're trying to crack as to why that is, but who knows, man. Hello, Ryan. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Ryan. Happy New Year to everybody who joins in. I know I took a couple weeks off in live blogging and in life for the most part. So I wasn't available, but back and should be back at a regular cadence doing these. So Ryan, you say they cannot keep three goaltenders. I completely agree. This is not sustainable. Um, I gotta think that if Montembeau has a good night tonight, Fowler goes back down. That would be my guess. I mean, that seems the most logical. Last man in, first man out. And if Montembeau's right again, but if Montembeau's not right again, that gets a little tricky. So you tell me, what's the solution to the three goalies? How does this shake out? It just Fowler gets sent back? Is it a foregone conclusion, or is there something else that they can do? Habinations, your solution: trade Monty to the Canucks. Do they want him? Is this like a cap dump situation? Do they have space for a cap dump? What I don't understand what the Canucks. I as always, I don't really understand where the Canucks are going with anything that they're doing. They traded their best player, Quinn Hughes, who did not want to be there. They signal that they're going to rebuild and start trading people, and then now I hear today that they want to re-sign Kiefer Sherwood. Yeah, sure, why not? Why not just re-sign the guy who is the most tradable guy left? I don't get it. That organization completely, utterly clueless all the time. Unfortunately, in my opinion, anyway. But yeah, Monty. Yeah, does Monty get tried? I just can't imagine a scenario in which they're going to trust Dobesh and Fowler for the rest of the season, even if they're the two best goalies on the team. Is kind of how I see it. Demko has a bad knee and might never play. Yeah, that he's been in. Yeah, ever since they re-signed him, he's an issue. How's Lankinen doing? Did they give a bunch of money to Lankinen too? How's Lankinen's season going? Is he playing? Let's look it up. Lankinen has an 884 save percentage in 20 games. And then yeah, Demko's got an 8-8 record in 18 games. So neither goalie's particularly good. I mean, nobody on this team is playing well. Wow, Philip Ronek is the second leading scorer on the team. Peterson's the obviously the best scorer on the team, but he's not very good. I saw they made Jake DeBrusk a healthy scratch. I mean, the guy's got 10 goals. Like, what do you want? Clueless organization. Definitely in the running for the worst run organization in the league. And then obviously they let Tocchet walk, and Tocchet's having a great season in Philly. Um, they didn't really get anything out of that JT Miller trade, eh? What was the defenseman they traded for? Mancini? I don't even see him. He's not even doing anything. And then obviously Chittle, his injury problems have continued in Vancouver. Jack Eye keeps playing better every game, hitting a lot more, but barely plays 10 minutes a game. I know. Is this just a matter of. And Jack Eye's. I agree. Jack Eye's kind of like. To me, is like settled as definitely better than Struble. Definitely the like sixth guy on this staff. And is that really the issue? Just that he's the sixth defenseman and there's just not a big need to play him very much? Is that sort of the issue here? Because I agree. I think he's looking great. I think they could play him more. Um, I feel like they could take a little bit off. I mean, it's tough, right? Because Dobson and Hudson are so like instrumental to the offense, and that's the one thing that Jack Eye wouldn't do, right? Jack Eye would play good defense, but he's not gonna kickstart the offense. So do they just feel compelled to keep playing Hudson and Dobson 20, 23, 24 minutes a night? Matheson, I mean, Matheson played only 21 minutes last night, but obviously he's coming back from injury, taking it easy on him, 21 minutes. But they really like overuse those guys. Could they give some of those minutes to Jack Eye, or do they just really want those guys kickstarting the offense all the time? It's tough. Buffalo wins still as the worst. Well, they've lost. What's their win streak at? Are they still on a win streak at 10 games or something? Man, since Kekalainen took over. Maybe Yarmo's going to be good. Maybe Yarmo's going to finally turn that thing around in Buffalo. I don't know. But I agree. Buffalo is definitely a complete mess. But they might make the playoffs this year, whereas Vancouver definitely won't. But Happy New Year to you too, Rick. Happy to be back. I'm feeling very well rested after a long break. I still got to watch the Habs, of course, but otherwise took a break from other things. Two players got hearings today for sucker punches, yet Marchand got nothing. Make it make sense. You know what? Stu Cowan was the one who told me that. He's like, hey, Brad Marchand's already on all the social media for that outdoor Winter Classic game in Miami. They already have him like skating with his kids and all that. Like they weren't going to take him out of that game, and I totally agree. That's exactly what happened. Um, it'd be interesting to know if Kent Hughes and Jeff Gorton raised much of a stink with the league, knowing that they did make a decision, presumably for that reason. But yeah, just a real gnarly business decision where the Habs really got screwed in the end. That seems to be the general consensus here that Marchand got off because they wanted him in the Winter Classic, which, by the way, looked awful. Just a that Miami stadium is just big and cavernous and ugly. It just looks like a big airport. Not that the Marlins deserve a nice stadium anyway, but God, did they really need to make it so gnarly looking? I don't know. Not my thing. If you guys have ever seen a game in that new Miami stadium, and it's any good, let me know. Why didn't they do it at Dolphin Stadium? That would have been like a real challenge. This didn't seem like a challenge to me. It just seems like in a big airport, in a big air conditioned hangar. That's where the game took place. Not exciting to me. These winter classics, man, diminishing returns every time. You're just not gonna beat like Soldier Field or what was that Detroit one? Is that where like the Michigan University of Michigan plays? You're not gonna top those. Have a game at Mount Royal. Don't even have anyone attend. Just if you walk by, you can watch it. Happy New Year, Kelly. Happy you could join. There's Montembeau. Getting ready to start soon. Built by Jeffrey Loria. Exactly. It's a cursed stadium. How do you guys feel about Jeffrey Loria? I'm not even going to get into it. Exactly. This is an anti Loria, anti Marlins. I don't even hate the Marlins. I just like pity the Marlins. All right, here we go. Opening face off. The Dallas Stars are still absurdly good. That's how it goes. The Dallas defenseman tripped Newhook, causing his broken ankle. Yeah, was it this game where it happened? God, that game. Truly the low point of the Habs season, eh? 7-0 loss. Newhook hurt. I'd be disappointed if the Canadians didn't at least look. It's a home game for Dallas, and they're well rested against a Habs team at the end of their road trip. I'm not like expecting miracles here, but if the Habs aren't at least motivated, then again, you could say the same thing about yesterday. I thought we were going to see Texier, Bolduc, and Blais play like they were pretty mad, and I don't feel like I saw it. I mean, they tried. Binnington was really good, though. This three-man goalie rotation did nothing in the past. Allen got back. Bupkus for the Habs. I agree. I think that you got to think that they learned a lesson from the last time they did this, and they're not going to let this thing. They're not going to string along these guys for too long. I say if Montembeau has a good game today, Fowler goes back to Laval for a bit, and then maybe they cycle because Dobesh could be sent down too, right? He's not. Is he waiver? What's his waiver status? I feel like he hasn't played long enough to be waiver eligible. Maybe you can rotate Dobesh and Fowler in the backup role for a little bit, or you just send Fowler down and let him cook in Laval some more. I mean, some nice forechecking so far by the Habs. No shots on goal. 2 minutes in, but looks like it's gonna be a physical game today. Yeah, Bolduc assisted on the first Blues goal. Yeah, exactly. That was his giveaway, right? That caused it. I expected a little more. Ooh, giveaway behind the net, and Dallas got a couple chances, but man, the Habs were able to flip the puck to center ice and avoid a pretty costly mistake there. And we've got one shot on goal. 3 minutes in, we got one shot on goal now. Dallas got their first shot. All right, here we go. Rush up the ice for the Habs. Slavkovsky lost it on the boards pretty fast. Ooh, but a little turnover by Dallas. Can the Habs take advantage? Puck's still in the Dallas zone here. Ooh, potential bad giveaway. Montembeault kind of gave the puck to Matheson in the corner, and Matheson sort of had kind of a weird spot where he had the Dallas guy coming in on him, and he tried to like chip it out, and it didn't work out. But now the puck's out in the neutral zone. Fowler kept it a close game last night. I know it's like if you looked at the stat sheet, it was like, well, he only faced 19 shots, but the I didn't end up looking at the high chances, the high danger chances, but I felt like Fowler made some pretty big saves, and then the two goals that he allowed, I felt like there wasn't much that he could do on those. Guys were left, obviously you said the Bolduc was a bad giveaway, and then there was an incredible effort by Rob Thomas, and then on the one timer goal there, oh, we got a breakaway. Can he break free? Oh, what a play by Harley to double back and beat Dobson. What a play. What do you think? I thought that Harley play on Caulfield on the breakaway there was a really nice play. I think it was like Mark Denny on RDS said it's like that's the limit of a penalty. What do you think? Did you guys think that he got a little too much of the stick there, or was that legit? No penalty was called on the play. Looked legit to me, but it was definitely borderline. Ryan says looked like a hook, and then Kelly says nah, it just lifted a stick. I know, right? That's a tough one. I don't envy the referees on that play. Caulfield doesn't have breakaway speed. He's not a burner. That is not his strong suit, I will say. And Harley's a real swift skater. He's really good. Harley named to Team Canada, right? Or is he Canadian? Yeah, no. Yeah, Harley was named to Team Canada, wasn't he? Oh, he's an American-born Canadian. That's why I was kind of confused. I was like, wait a minute. All right, we got another just lifted his stick. You only just saw it. How behind your feet are. I'm on RDS tonight. Today, I'm watching the RDS feed as always. Lightning fast, super crisp. It's just those Saturday games when I'm forced to watch it on Sportsnet. They're always way behind. I've mentioned this to you guys. I have TVA Sport, and it just like doesn't work on my computer. No matter what I do, works on my TV, works on my apps, but for whatever reason on my computer, it does not let me log in to TVA Sport Plus. So I don't know why I'm paying for it. Rantanen behind the nets. Always dangerous. Ooh, a nice save by Montembeau, though. But I can already see Dallas trying to look good. What are these jerseys, by the way? These are they're like the old school stars. Oh, nice save by Harley. Sort of entered the zone right up the middle and fired a low shot on Montembeau. He made a nice pad save. Can the Habs finally get the puck out? Yeah, they're able to do it without icing the puck. Able to get a quick change, but I think Dallas are going to move the puck pretty quickly up the ice. Yeah, these Dallas Stars jerseys, they're like the old school, but the green is different. It's like the new green, right? Am I crazy or am I going colorblind here? Feels like the green's a little different. If Russia had an Olympic team, Demidov would be on it, 100%. Has anyone done like an on paper as a fun exercise what the Russian team might look like? I saw some people did that for Quebec. What would Quebec team look like? Not good. Oh, there you go. It's 1-0 Habs. Is Dano have his first goal? What do you guys think? It looks like Dano with the deflection. Gallagher's also kind of celebrating. So Carrier had the initial shot from the point through a ton of traffic. Didn't look like it was going to be too dangerous. Looked like he was just kind of keeping the play alive. But man, three guys. There's two Habs who came in the play and two stars. I mean, Oninger. Oh, and it deflected twice, three times. Did that puck deflect three times on the way in? Wow. So for now, RDS is saying it was Deno, and the NHL is saying Gallagher. And it's a little bit important because beyond even the goal, Deno has been stuck at 399 career points. So if Deno does not get a goal on the deflection, he doesn't get a point at all, and he's got to wait for his 400th point. So I'm hoping for his sake that he does get the goal in the end. Yeah, and Dano is at 399 points. So hold on, let's see. But that line, whatever happened, that line needed it because I saw a lot of Gallagher talk after yesterday's game that people were saying if injured guys start coming back, if Kirby Doc comes back, got to start having the conversation of is Gallagher the guy who sits? It's gotten to that point. I don't think it ever will happen, but good good goal for that line. They needed it. And if it stands as it does on the website, Gallagher will have his third goal of the season. Yeah, they're doing Dano dirty right now. They're not even giving him an assist. But it looks pretty clear to me that he at least touched it, even if he didn't score. He needs that 400th point. So for now, we'll wait to see what happens. But yeah, for now, no point. Yeah, for now, no points for Dano. If Galley gets the goal, then Dano should get an assist, right? Because he deflected it. I don't know what's going on here. NHL scorekeepers making it hard for us. Ooh, Dobson with a nice came down the sort of right wing, had a nice shot from a hard angle, but the puck kind of kicked out right to the Dallas player, and they're able to get the puck down the ice pretty fast. So, and Dano's loss is Hudson's gain for now. Hudson would get the second assist, as if that guy needs another assist, but that's how it goes. Yeah, Matson kind of sticking behind the net, waiting for the line change. Habs leading in shots 7-4 so far. Ooh, Matheson couldn't clear it. Libushkin with the point shot that got deflected wide, but not a great, not too bad zone exit attempts by Matheson on that play after doing the right thing and waiting for the line change. But yeah, still nothing on the Dano front. Poor guy. I do have to ask you guys, what do you think of Dano's play so far since being brought back? Is he the player you remember? Has he lost a bit of a step? Do you think his offense is ever going to come back, or his offense like that's off the table? Not that he was ever like a burner or anything, but you know, he's a little slower, a little less offense. But otherwise, do you like the player that you see? Do you think he's going to be an effective third line center, I guess, for this team? Now that Kapanen has sort of, I think grabbed a hold of that second job. Very interested in knowing what you think of what you think of Dano so far. He's done the job we traded him for. That's it, Ryan. That's exactly it, Ryan. Like he's kind of as advertised as you remember him, at least on the defensive side. Dano has been okay. Needs a little more time. Oh no, I'm looking at up close, and the green is the same green as I think the old school Dallas green from the '90s. Yes, the 90. They're calling them the '99 Cup winning jerseys. They're pretty cool. Oh, nearly had a 2-on-1 Rantanen and Duchesne, but Habs got back and broke it up. And now we have a 3-on-1 coming up. Guess who? The second line. Ooh, and nice job by Kapanen on the shot, but he's not able to beat Ottinger. But it was a nice try. Dano, nothing yet. Nothing yet on offense, but I think he's been pretty good on defense and faceoffs. Ooh, and almost a night, and almost another steal by Slavkovsky there. Yeah, what happened here? So nice play by Slavkovsky. Take a hit, make a play, and then it was Kapanen, Demidov, and then Demidov on the far wing, and then Hudson up the middle. It was a nice try. Oh yeah, is Ottinger rocking the Ed of the Eagle helmet? That's pretty cool. Oh, what a terrible play by Montembeau, and it's 1-1. Yikes. So Montembeau got beat pretty bad on that wraparound. Wickets were wide open, which is like kind of the one thing that you really can't do on a wraparound. What happened here? It just looked like he didn't see it at all. So he goes around the net. Nah, that was like he totally saw it coming. I don't know what happened here. Comes around. Well, his far leg just kind of got like a bit stuck. That's not a good goal. That's a pretty bad one on Montembeau. Maverick Bork's seventh goal of the season. I had pitched Maverick Bork um as an offer sheet candidate this past summer because he was a restricted free agent. Dallas were like really tight to the cap, and then he ended up just taking like a bargain deal and staying with the team, and he's playing really great for Dallas. I guess he had a good situation there. You know, players are loath to move, and you would have had to pay quite a bit to bring him over. So I get why he stuck around. Monty didn't have his stick down. Yeah, he just totally whiffed on that one. You cannot allow a goal like that. No excuse. Yeah, that looks like that was a Monty getting, right as he was about to get sent down goal. And it just seemed like he was lacking in the fundamentals. Slav has a long reach. He sure does. And he's learning how to. I think the thing about him is he's just learning how to use it now. He's learning how to use his body, learning how to use his stick. And we're seeing it every game now. It's like stealing the puck, possible to beat along the boards, zone it. Just amazing zone entries. But yeah, not a great goal allowed on Montembeau there. Okay, we'll take the time to put up the goals. Oh, Dano does get his 400th point. TSN has a lot of dead air. Mudrik isn't talking to anyone but the viewers. What's going on TSN today? It's hard to talk. No. I'm not even a professional. All right, hold on. Let's get the now that the goals have been settled, and so that's the first goal. That's the first goal, the Gallagher one. And then the second goal here is Maverick Bork's 7th goal of the year. Not bad. And then a couple of big boys getting the assists here. Robertson and Hintz. It's quite a top line. Rantanen's not on a top line with Hintz? All right. You guys know your team better than I do, I guess. Oh! Rich Kovian, the Montrealer, man, kind of left alone in the slot there. And or not in the slot, just like kind of on the lip of the crease. And he almost beat Montembeau. Okay, Dallas looks like they've turned on the Jets a little bit after kind of a slow early sort of 15 minutes to the game. Dallas have turned it on, and that's what like a good team like Dallas can do, right? They can sleepwalk through the first 15 minutes of a period and then just blow you out of the water. Once Fowler becomes a full timer, Monty is gone. I am inclined to agree, just that I don't know when that's going to be. I don't know when he's going to be a full timer. I think it might be not as soon as some fans would hope, which would be right now. But yes, it does seem inevitable that Fowler will be the guy before too long. They don't have Sege long term. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for them? Does Sege have it much in the tank left? I mean, that guy's been. He has spent much of his time in Dallas injured, I would say. And looks like we got the first penalty of the game, and it's going to the Habs. Demidov for holding. And Dallas, as you can imagine, very good team on the power play. Hopefully next year Fowler will be the number one. I think that is a possibility for sure. I think Fowler's better than Dobesh. I like Dobesh a lot. I think Dobesh could be a good backup in this league. Yeah, I'm not convinced he's a starter. Whereas I think Fowler might legit be one of the best goalie prospects in the world and might be pretty close to being ready. Hello, Blue, by the way. Happy New Year, Blue. Marty has this young team playing great hockey. Team Canada GM was giving him props for getting the most of his young players. He sure did. He sure Doug Armstrong, the Blues GM, absolutely shouted out Marty St. Louis, which was pretty uh, like it was noticeable. Like he had no reason to shout him out. Don't think he was shouting out other coaches. So it's just funny to see the reaction. I know Marty is a pretty controversial coach around here. Not everybody loves him, but I think the consensus amongst the players in the league and the other GMs is overwhelmingly positive about the work that Marty is doing. Being kind of, I think, a different kind of thinker as a coach. So I think it just behooves the Canadians and it behooves the fans to be perhaps a little patient because he's definitely not going anywhere. Oh, nice job by Carrier to prevent a chance on Robertson, but man, Dallas's power play is still pushing. Okay, Habs get that out to the middle of the ice. It's funny how last year's road trip I thought we'd win two games, Chicago and Columbus. We went 5-2. Our two losses, Chicago and Columbus. I know, and isn't wasn't last night the exact same thing? I thought when I looked at the schedule, I was like, well, this Blues game is the layup. The Blues suck this year. Oh man, those shots through traffic. I don't feel comfortable. Montembeau just doesn't look like he sees them well. That was the first thing that I noticed when watching Fowler. He just seemed so much more comfortable watching the puck through traffic, whereas Montembeau still kind of looks a little like clueless when the puck's coming through. We let in a goal and then got tentative in our own end. Yep. Bork was at the doorstep, wide open net. Not sure how he missed that. I'm looking forward to seeing the replay on that one. Once the Canadiens get back to Montreal, they will send a goalie down. I agree. It's just a question of how Montembeau looks tonight. Dobish is definitely not a starter. Yeah, I agree. Dobish looked bad against the Canes, but offense got him the win. So we're back at even strength, by the way. So let's look at this Maverick Bork one again. So he's on the doorstep. Great cross crease pass. Did he? What a save by Montembeau. He was not in the right. He was not in the right place. He did not get around very fast, but Maverick still put it in his pad. So I'll give Montembeau credit there. That's a seventh save of the period for Montembeau. He's given up one goal on 8 shots by Dallas. Binnington stole one from the Habs yesterday. Binnington was real good. So we got a penalty here. It took a while for the ref to decide that, but the Habs looked like they were going to have a 2-on-1, and somebody got very, very badly dumped. Jamie Benn goes to the box. So, yes, Hudson steals the puck from Ben off to the races, gets hacked. Had to call that. There's only 26 seconds left in the period, so it's going to be a pretty short power play to start, and then they'll get a fresh sheet of ice. Oh, Demidov off the draw did kind of a pass shot to Slafkovsky in front. Very nice chance. I know this is some nice try by the Habs, but no dice. Anyway, it's not a bad period for the Habs. I thought Dallas came on a little bit at the end, but now the Canadians are going to start the second period with a power play, with like a minute 30 something of a power play. So hopefully the Habs can take the lead again. Brendan Gallagher opened scoring at 8:42, and then with almost 14 minutes into the period, Maverick Bork beat Montembeau on a wraparound. Just to note, Montembeau's in nets. If you're just popping in, Montembeau is in nets today. Dobesh is the backup. Fowler's in the watching upstairs, and Josh Anderson is not playing today. So Josh Anderson is missing his second consecutive game. He left the Carolina game. He's out. I don't know if it's officially an upper body injury, but for all intents and purposes, I have certainly read that it is a upper body injury, I think. Jan 8th, Florida's in town. Hopefully they make Marchand pay a premium. Are you able to broadcast? I will be now I'm back at work and working regularly. So you will see me when there's one. Yeah, the 8th. Yes, I'm doing the all the games, the Wednesday, Thursday games next week for sure. So you will see me there. Here, we'll do it in the chat too. Yes, I will be there. Looking forward to it. Definitely going to try to just do more Habs stuff in general here, both here and on the Gazette website and on the Hockey Inside Out YouTube page. It's a brand new year. Got brand new initiatives coming up. We've got some fun projects that we're working on. So please stay tuned to the Gazette and keep on reading. We got some fun stuff. We got Stu and Herb back for another year. Obviously, on Hockey Inside Out, we have Rick Green and Chris Nyland back for another year. Um, Obviously, because these guys are all. We decide these things at the beginning of the season, so we're not going to change mid-season. But it's a new year, so I just wanted to tell you that everybody's back for a new year. Brendan Kelly's got more what the puck and some more just culture, Habs culture talk. And then little old me doing the Liveblog and the About Last Night. I know I've been like kind of not doing them at a great pace. I'm going to do them more regularly in the new year as the games get more serious and the Canadians look like they are definitely going to be in the playoff hunts. Marshall better answer the bell on Thursday. I know who's going to go. Who's going after him? Is it Jack Eye? Is Matheson going to fight his own fights? Does he do that? Hope they make him pay, but they are restricted. Yes, Marchand doesn't get suspended. The Habs players do get suspended. All right, a little bit of fun bookkeeping here. So the Money Puck Deserve to Win meter says 56% chance Stars close this one out today. T. Moore says Fowler needs a technician. He's on the small side for modern day goaltender. That is true. He's not a big dude. So he's gonna have to like learn to play taller. I will say that there have been moments where I've seen him in his net and he gets a little smaller and he already is not a big guy. Whereas Dobesh, he's got like holes where you can beat him in, but I feel like he's always standing quite tall in the net. And you always get a good sense of like Dobesh's height, whereas Fowler can get a little inside. So he's going to have to learn to not do that. Polymarket has it at 60% Stars, meaning the 60 cents on the dollar is going to the Stars right now. And then in terms of high danger chances, so the Canadians have 7 scoring chances, 2 high danger chances, and the Stars have 8 scoring chances and 6 high danger chances. So it's 6 to Stars in high danger chances. So those are some interesting stats for y'all. Yes, Herb. Herb said that the NHL refs are looking a little CFL-ish right now. I thought that was pretty funny. You would know. No one knows better than he does. So bringing it back. All right, that's my intermission question for you, and I'm going to be right back very shortly. All right, hold on. We got some comments to go through. It's been a bit since we had a blog. It has been. I went to the game in Boston on December 23rd, and what an enjoyable game it was. Sure was. That was a good one. We had Oh, we did have the we had that was the last game that we did. And then obviously you weren't going to comment on that game because you were at the game. Lost yesterday on the point spread against the Blues. Go figure. The worst. As for Fowler getting sent down, you believe so. Which environment's better overall, Canadiens or Bruins? I got into a fight at a Bruins game once in Boston. Wait, I got into a fight at a Boston game in Montreal too. And I don't fight. I'm not much of a fighter. I never fight. And when I mean fight, I don't mean like throwing punches. I mean like a shove. There was a shove in each. Um, yeah, I got into a shove with at the I was at the triple overtime game where Alexei Kovalev got slashed and then Boston scored, and then these two Boston fans next to me refused to like get up to let us get out of our row, and I was like, "Yo, fuck off! We've been here for 6 hours," and that guy shoved me. And then I was also at a playoff game where the Habs lost to Boston. It was one of those ones where PK was just like on fire, and Tim Thomas had an incredible game, and one guy, this Boston guy behind me, was just like, "You have to respect Tim Thomas." And then my buddy was just like, "Fuck you." And then my buddy got shoved 2 rows down. So there you go. If by chance Montembeau lays an egg in the next 2 periods, do you then send Fowler down? This is the big issue. This is the big conundrum that I see. If Montembeau has a lousy game today, can you trust him and Dobesh? Or do you got to then stick with the 3 goalies again? Or do you send Dobesh down? You can't send Montembeau on another conditioning stint. Cans are in a tough spot. I don't know what they do. If Montembeau can't go, I don't know what they do. Montembeau can go. It's pretty obvious what they do. Montembeau can't go. I don't know. Going to the 120 game against Minnesota. In Minnesota? No. In Boston? Here? I don't know which one. Anyways, you can check out the highlights. I have the 2 goals. Wasn't much else in terms of highlights. It was really just those two. I don't recall any great saves or anything. No fights, no hits. Pretty light period so far. Monty has not been able to secure the position for 4 seasons. It's a no-brainer he's on the trading block. Well, he was the number one last year. In fact, didn't he play the third most amount of games for goalies last year? Wasn't he only behind like Shesterkin and Hellebuck? He was as number one a goalie as there was last season. So I disagree with what you're saying there, but this year he's been bad. He's been so bad that I just like don't know. Like you can't even like keep him out there and hope for the best. That's how bad he's been. I don't know what the solution is. The dreaded second period. Yes, they're still not a good second period team. What was his goals against and save percentage last year? They weren't like terrible, terrible. He's not an. No one's going to confuse Montembeau with being an all star. I'll give you that much. But Montembeau last year had a 280 goals against and a 902 save. And he had a 903 the season before, 901 the season before that, which is like okay. He was like an okay starter last year. And you could argue a little better than that because the Canadiens were not a very good defensive team last year. Monty can make great saves, but will give up one stinker every game. That's like good Montembeau, I will admit. He's never been like no one's ever confused him for a Vezina winner. No, he was over 900 last year. I just checked. He's been over 900 the last 3 seasons. Prior to this season. Obviously, this season he's 863, but prior to last season, he had 3 straight seasons in the 901, 902, 903 range. So, how many goals on the first shot? He has, I think he's up to 5. And then one of them is like, I think there was 6 at one point, but like they ended up switching. I think it's 5, which is terrible. No. Montembeau is having like such a bad season that you like can't play him. I fully acknowledge that, but I disagree with the notion that he was not a number one goalie last season because he was. He was not like an incredible one. Here, Montembeau is our version of Skinner when he was with the Oilers. Great games, horrible games, then extended periods of just meh. That is probably a bit closer to the accurate situation, which is not horrible. I don't think anybody thought that Montembeau, when the Canadians are like ready to reach the promised land of contending for a cup, I don't think anybody thinks that Montembeau is going to be like the number one guy. But he has been a perfectly adequate, and up until this season had been a perfectly adequate number one goalie. And then this season the wheels fell off, and he is so bad that you like almost can't even put him in to let him figure it out. And that's the tricky part. Because if it was like an 890 save percentage and he was just kind of giving up like a stinker or two a game, you could live with that. You can like let him go through the motions to figure it out. But I think we all agree that there's something seems like tremendously wrong with him. Like he's missing, like pucks will just go through his glove and he'll just like not be able to get across and doesn't see shots through traffic. Like there's something fundamentally wrong with his game right now. He's a placeholder. That's exactly. And I think now that we've seen Jacob Fowler play, I would say that it's pretty clear he's a placeholder for Jacob Fowler. Jacob Fowler like looks like a legit goalie in this league. He's very young. Wouldn't anoint him the job just yet. But Jacob Fowler looks like the real deal to me. Just a matter of time. But Montembeau can absorb some hard, he's been able to absorb some very hard minutes and some very hard seasons. Some seasons where the Canadians were really the worst defensive team imaginable. There was a season where they started with five rookies on the defense and then just let them all figure it out. And Montembeau was the goalie for most of that. He and Allen. And Montembeau weathered the storm. And I really don't understand why Montembeau is so bad this season. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But goalies are mercurial that way, and I can't imagine that the Canadians will give up on him after four decent seasons. Or sorry, three decent seasons. Like one really bad season when he came in, and then three decent seasons. Now this one bad season, but I can't imagine the Canadians will give up on a goaltender just because of one bad stretch. Goalies are too flaky. Dobesh is still very young and flaky. We are back for the second period. Okay, so Monty has some qualities. Let's not forget he's supposed to have this. Are the Habs going to stifle either Dobesh or Fowler's progression? I mean, I feel like both now Dobesh and Fowler. I feel like Dobesh got thrown into the situation way too early last year because Primo couldn't figure it out, and Primo got thrown into the situation too early back in the day because they couldn't figure it out. So there's been like a few goaltenders in a few years now of Habs having to call up goalies early because they can't get their shit together. And I could even go further back to. It's funny. The one guy who didn't was probably Price, who probably stayed down a little longer because Halak was pretty decent. Okay. Oh yeah, the Habs also start this period on the power play for a minute 33. So this is a very big opportunity for the Habs to. Any ideas for trade deadline pickups? Will be tough to make trades with basically everyone in it. Yes, and also you have to keep in mind that it is possible that Doc and Gooley should be back soon, um, and then Newhook and Line could potentially be back or like coming back. Like that might end up being your deadline acquisition, like a healthy Newhook. Because once everyone's healthy, they do have the cap to consider. They'll have cap room, but I think what they'll probably do is pick up like a John Merrill type. Nice job, Hudson, there on the back check on the penalty on the power play. Yeah, Primo was in Toronto and now Carolina. Line A skating. Yeah, what's the prognosis was like 4 months, and it's like month and a bit, 2 months. The guy that's kind of worrying me a bit is Doc. He was supposed to be back by now. He's not back. And now they're saying that Gooley might be back before Doc, which is like not a good sign. Oh, nice try by Bolduc. And the Stars, as soon as this penalty's over, Stars immediately go back on the penalty kill. Leah Bushkin. Oh, Leah Bushkin was the one that hurt Newhook, wasn't it? Let's try to remember what I was like. Oh, Leah Bushkin did something of significance in the last game. That's it. He was the one who ran Newhook, right? I don't remember now. I know another season of us poor docking Doc. That guy needs to just play, man. Terrible. Habs are outskating them, drawing the penalties. I think the Habs have outskated them outside of that kind of like 5 minute stretch in the first. I feel like the Habs have played better. Oh, Kapanen wide open in the circle in the dot there. Could not, man. We're seeing a lot of Gallagher in this power play. I don't know why. Why are they doing this to me? No Gallagher, please. Oh, Texier with the nice little steal. And then to Gallagher, who nice hard shot by Texier. Dobson with the shot. I mean, they're shooting, but they're shooting big slappers on the outside, and Dallas are handling those pretty nicely. 30 seconds now left in this power play, and you got to believe Dallas will get the next power play. Oh, Johnston almost made it 2 PK goals in 2 games for against the Habs. Brutal fall apart here. I don't understand why we didn't see much of the first power play unit. Am I crazy? Saw a bit of a weird Franken unit with Gallagher, Bolduc, and Texier, and I don't know what's going on. Anyways, over 2 on the power play now. Dallas win the game by 3 goals. Prediction 5-2 Dallas. By the way, Happy New Year, Gary. Um, I don't think we're going to see that many goals tonight. Do you think Dallas are going to score 4 more goals? I don't know. I think a 3-2. I'm going to say 3-2 Dallas. That's my prediction. Newhook was doing so good too. Such a shame. I know he was playing his best hockey. And now, even when he comes back, I don't know what to expect. It might be a long time before he's himself again. Need to throw the puck around more in the PP. Need high danger scoring chances. Yeah, it was a lot of outside shots, that power play. Doc probably gets a shot on the first line. I know, but when is he coming back? He was supposed to be back already. So now I'm not so sure that he gets that first chance if he's not healthy. If he's not healthy, they're not going to thrust him back in the first lineup spot. And if he's feeling gingerly about his foot, I don't know. I don't like the chances now. I was a strong earlier proponent of putting Doc on the first line when Bolduc was struggling, but now like Texie is doing all right, and Doc doesn't look like he's going to be 100% anytime soon. So I don't think I want to subject him to that necessarily. Where did our PP go? I don't know. Not good last night. That 5-on-3 was brutal last night, and it was brutal too. And then they gave up. Obviously, they gave up the shorthanded goal last night. Almost gave up a shorthanded goal today already. So I don't know. This power play runs hot and cold. There are moments that this power play looks unstoppable, and then there are moments where it looks like it'll never score again. Such is the ups and downs of a young team. Oh, Bolduc, or Dano rather, with the brutal giveaway, but he fought to get the puck back. Oof. Bork and Faxo with a little give and go there. Need a point, at least. I know. It would be terrible to end a very nice road trip with two straight regulation losses. I would be really disappointed. Kapanen tied at second for most goals by rookies with 12, one behind Bennett Seneke. He's having a great season in Anaheim. Lowell, the PB was good yesterday. Just Binnington was better. He made a lot of huge saves. I don't know. I don't know if everybody feels that way. I mean, Binnington did make a lot of nice saves. I'll give you that much. Second line playing keep away in the zone right now. Can they take advantage? That was a big, nice shift by the second line, but man, they could not convert in the end. When Gouli gets back, Enstrom automatically gets sent back to Laval since Struble requires waivers. That is true. That's not as controversial situation as the goaltending situation. The defense situation is, although I don't know who the pairings are going to be. The pairings might be a bit tricky. Doc is a piece of glass. The Hawks made a smart move by dumping Doc. Can't argue. Can't argue with that right now. Frank Nazar, who I believe is also hurt, but Frank Nazar looks like they did good with the draft pick, with the first round pick that they got from Doc. So they seem very, very happy. And the Canadians have not gotten anything from Doc other than his first season here, where he looked pretty good and hasn't done anything since then. So yeah, that was not a good move for the Habs in the end. I understand why they did it. There are brief moments where I see what Doc can do and I get very excited. And for the most part, he's just been hurt. And so it was a risk to take, and I don't think it's cost the Canadians like so much in the end. Like I don't think this is like set them back a great deal. Um, I don't think having Frank Nazar on this team or whoever they would have drafted would have like dramatically changed the outlook of the team. Like they still have like some really good players, but the Doc trade hasn't worked out. Montembeau has given up some juicy rebounds. Yeah, he's not fully himself again, for sure. Hughes will make an upgrade on the bottom pairing of the trade deadline if the Habs are in the hunt. Yeah, I think they'll get a depth guy. I don't know if they'll necessarily get like a big name, but they do. I mean, every team does that though, right? Every team gets like an eighth defenseman, because you don't want to get stuck with not enough defensemen if somebody gets hurt, right? Sending Kapanen to Sweden last year worked wonders. Sure did. Reminds me a lot of another Finnish player who went to Sweden before coming over. I know Kapanen went and came back, but you know what I mean. Arturi Lehkonen had a great season in Sweden where he was like I think he was the playoff MVP, and then came over, started his career here and did great. Oliver Kapanen, another example of a Finnish player who went to Sweden and has come back a much better player. All right. So after a good shift by the second line, now the first line's in the zone too. The Matheson couldn't hold it at the point, and now we've got a 3-on-2 forming. Maverick Bork is having a great night tonight. He's all over the place. Told you they should have offer sheeted him. I told you guys. It wouldn't have cost a first either. The NHL loser point scoring system ensures that most teams will be in the hunt. The Habs will be among them. Uh, I mean, them's the rules. I mean, it doesn't behoove you to like doesn't you know what I mean? Like every team gets that advantage. So is it an advantage at all in the end? You're right. It keeps more teams in the race, but every team has that advantage. So ultimately, you still got to win more games than the other team. By the way, Canadians are going on the PK. They got a too many men. Bolduc will serve that penalty. Seeing Brady get dropped yesterday, then crying to the refs is such a Senators move. The Senators are not looking as good as I thought they would, and I guess the big reason is because Allmark isn't there. I definitely expected a lot of Linus Allmark, and he's not currently there. Oh, that was a nice save by Montembeau off a difficult point shot from Heiskanen that definitely had some traffic in front, and Montembeau saw that one well. Hopefully, the extra days of rest, Anderson will play on Wednesday. Yeah, I do miss. I am missing his physicality on the forecheck here. Everyone gets the same points, lol. Such a weird argument. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, you still have to have more points than the guys ahead of you, and everybody has the same advantage. If the Habs are looking for a trade, it's not defense. They'll test Reinbacher in February when they need help in the bottom six. That's a very interesting question. Will Reinbacher get a call up this year? I don't know. I think if Carrier gets hurt, we're definitely going to see Reinbacher. But if Carrier stays healthy and he's playing well after having a slow start, he's playing well now. I don't know. I don't really know, guys. I'm not convinced about that we're gonna see him. The NHL is looking at that punch on Kachuk. I have no. I you know what I gotta say, guys. I have not. I didn't see these highlights. I gotta watch them. I was unaware. I was unaware of all this. 3 points for a regulation win needs to be the new norm. We are seeing. I don't know if the pace is still, but I remember in November, a record number of games were going to overtime, and I think it's for exactly this reason because teams, when there's like 10 minutes left, know that there's a chance that they could get a point, so they're just going to try to get the point and try to win it in OT. And I think both teams on the team kind of mutually agree to this, and so they both teams kind of change up their strategy, and then nobody scores. So 3 points would reward teams for going for it in regulation, which would probably just make things more entertaining. Timur says, you are aware that you're not allowed to fight in the NHL with a taped hand. Sucker punching someone with that restriction is a pretty cheap move. Oh, is that what happened? Somebody had a taped up hand and they punched Kachuk? Oh, that's pretty interesting. I gotta check this out. Oh, what a goal. I don't know if that was a power play goal. It was right at the end. It was right at the end, but my goodness. Jason Robertson. Who else? Or is that Wyatt Johnson? No, it's Wyatt Johnston. Ranton into Johnston. Oof. That was a great goal. Not much we could do there. Not officially a power play goal though. It looks well. No, don't quote me on that. It doesn't look like NHL is updating. It looks like it was 1 second after. It looks like the goal was scored 1 second after the power play expired. So technically not a power play goal for the Stars, but you know, it's not like the guy had gotten back into the play. 2 points for OT win, no point for shootout loss. Go to 4-on-4 OT, but everybody loves the 3-on-3 OT. They're not going to go back to the 4-on-4. Everybody loves the 3-on-3. So I don't know. I don't know. You had me at 2 points for an OT win. I was like, okay, and then no point for shootout loss. Fair, but the 4-on-4 OT, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna go back to that. I have to say. So that's Johnston's 21st of the season, and so there you go. 41 assists for Rantanen. Man, so Colorado was able to get out in front. So this is a great lesson learned, guys. Rantanen, uh, obviously elite player. Colorado lost him, but they were able to trade him and get something back. They got Netches, who's doing great too. The Leafs, who had given Marner a no trade, and Marner apparently used it and would have been traded last year, but wouldn't let his no trade be used. They end up just losing him for nothing, replace him with nothing, and we see where the Leafs are right now. Really goes to show you when you've got a star player and you know he's not coming back. Quinn Hughes, kind of a similar situation. Um, as much as it hurts to move them, unless you've really like you were 100% a cup contender, you got to trade him for the assets. I don't see any way around it. End of a long road trip. Not much jump in our step yesterday and today. I thought they started off fast today, and now they're slowing down. For I think the reason you're saying. Also, they played less than 24 hours ago. I was really shocked at the time of the games this weekend. I thought it was going to be, without looking at the schedule, I'd kind of set my life being like, oh, I guess the Saturday game's at 2 and then the Sundays at 4 because they're not going to make them play two games in less than 24 hours, right? Wrong. The NHL absolutely will. The Habs team is not a playoff team. We haven't played like one this weekend at all. Yeah, but what about Tuesday and Thursday and then the game against Tampa on Sunday? They look pretty good in those games. They didn't win the Tampa one, but they played well. I don't know. This team's a little Jekyll and Hyde. I'll give you that much. There are days where they don't look like a playoff team, and there's days they look like a dominant team. But I wouldn't say that this was like. Hold on, Gary. Where are the Leafs now? You ask. They're 5 points back of the mighty Habs. Next question. Yo, the Leafs are supposed to be contending for Stanley Cup. Canadians are just out of a rebuild. The situations are not the same at all. The Leafs invested mightily in some star players that was supposed to allow them to maybe make the finals and win a Stanley Cup for the first time in forever. It's a very different situation from the Canadians, who have a bunch of 20-year-olds who are going to be there for the next 6, 7 years. Like the Leafs are now at the end of their winning cycle, whereas the Canadians have not even really entered theirs. So it's a different thing. A sucker punch is a punch. Okay, so you guys are talking about this Ottawa thing. I gotta watch this. I'll watch it. I'll take a break during the intermission and watch it. Slow in passing, slow in decision making. Oh, hey. Another goal for the second line. That came up out of nowhere. Second line does it again. What a play by Slavkovsky to oh man. Slavkovsky to Demidov is starting to become I mean, these guys are on fire. T-Ward says our second line has become our best line recently. Absolutely. The best line on the team. It's really been remarkable to watch. Oh, Blais got nailed by the Dallas player. Damn. The effort in the third period in the last 10 games shows the potential of this team. This team can do something that no Habs team has been able to do in a really long time, which was kind of score at will. More often than not. They got shut out yesterday, obviously, but you know what I mean? Like, when they need a goal, like they can really turn on the offensive jets and get some chances. Way too often in the last 20-25 years, this Habs team was like, if they didn't score the first goal, they didn't get out to a lead. It's kind of hopeless. Oh, somebody got really dumped. Was it Veleno? No, it's Blais. Lindell goes to the box. Man, Blair's been playing really well for the Habs. That's not fun. So what happened? So Lindell, I mean, Blair cross-checked him in the back a little bit, and then, but did Lindell? Lindell slashes him right on the hand. That hurts. I think he'll be okay, but anyways, Canadians back on the power play. They're 0 for 2 today after going 0 for 4 yesterday. Goal mouth scramble. Ah, one too many passes. Oh, Hudson's able to get the puck. Canadians still have it in the Dallas zone, but can they get a chance? Open lane here. I mean, some nice passing by the Habs on this power play, but can they get a shot? They're running out of time here. 18 seconds. Oh, Caulfield with a nice chance. All right, Habs are 0 for 3 now on the power play today. Not great. But it is 2-2 currently. Your goal scores for the Habs are Gallagher, scored his third, and then Kapanen, who scored his 13th, which I guess puts him now tied again for the rookie lead with Seneke. So he's keeping pace with the very, very good emerging power forward in Anaheim. We'd like to see more pucks at the net there. Yeah, they only kind of started shooting at the end, and by then they were not getting. They didn't have good like shooting lanes. Man, Gallagher left wide open there on that rush. I guess it was Texier making the pass, and now Deno behind the net. Yeah, it was a very shots are 14-6 Habs this period. By the way, they're playing really well. They kind of started out the period a little slowly, but they've come on now. But they might regret not scoring that power play goal. I wish we had the second line chemistry as good as our first line with Caulfield, Suzuki, and the player who can play with him. Yeah, that's kind of the issue right now, right? They've got five very good forwards. Um, and Slavkovsky, when he was on the top line, that was the best line. And then now Slavkovsky on the second line, that's the best line. They are missing, I think, one top flight forward for the top six, which could be an acquisition at some point. Is New Hook? Does New Hook still have it in him? We're talking about Doc earlier, or is it like Haig or Zarovsky? Is it? Do we got to wait for one of those guys to eventually come in? Would like to see Caulfield do something beyond waiting for his teammates to do all the work. It is kind of. I mean, I do think Caulfield does a lot of work, but I will say that he's not the guy who's going to carry the puck on that line. Like it is his job to get into a scoring position and then score. And he was the player of the month, by the way. He was the player of the month in December, and is after having a little bit of a he had a little bit of a stretch where he didn't score very much, but now he's scoring well again. So number one line needs a power forward. What we need is two Slavkovskis. So a Slavkovsky for the to stay on the second line and a Slavkovsky for the first line. They need two Slavkovskis. It's funny, we were all doom and gloom about Slavkovsky at some point last year. Like, oh no, did Canadians make the wrong choice drafting Slavkovsky first overall? And now the question is, where do we get another one? Where do we get another Uri Slavkovsky? Because the Canadians need somebody on the top line that can really like ride shotgun with those guys, while Slavkovsky anchors the second line, or arguably that could become the first line at some point. Yes, I'm aware that Timur is not a Caulfield fan, but that's legitimate. He doesn't have to be. You don't have to be a Caulfield fan to be here. You cannot. There are certain players that everybody I think likes on the team and doesn't like as much. Um, and that's totally fair, man. That's hey, you're a Habs fan. You are allowed to feel what you want about any player. If Timur doesn't like Caulfield's uh, play without the puck, like totally legit. That is the fun of being a Habs fan, being a hockey fan, being a sports fan. We can have different opinions on the team. It's totally cool. I've had patience with Slav since he was so young. I can't believe he's only 21. It seems like he's been here for 8 years. I know, right? He's already on a second contract. It's crazy. Hey, another Habs power play. Another Habs power play. Where's Mark Tallifer today to say, "Hey, can we give it back? Can we turn down the penalty?" That's a slash on Lane Hudson, who's having a great game tonight, by the way. All right, Hudson and Demidov at the point here on the power play, trying to get something going. Oh, Hudson with a really nice shot that was tipped by Slap. Oh, there you go. Finally. Guys, you're asking where the power play is? It has arrived. Uri Slavskovsky, the bumper. I don't think he. I think he tipped it. It was a very sort of quick play. So no, just a classic bumper. Slavkovsky, the bumper. We don't see that much from him, and it was not the hardest shot in the world. I'll give you that much. But hey, you know what? Sometimes just a quick release is all it takes. Another 2 point game for Slav. And Suzuki and Hudson get the assists as well. So there are a bunch of 2 point nights. I'm saying is its eighth power play goal. Unbelievable. Another assist for Hudson as well. Oh, Matheson, another broken stick. Was it what? Why did is he holding his sticks too tight? This is starting ever since like that game where he had the chance to score in overtime and his stick shattered. All every game it seems like he breaks a stick. Slav reminded me of John Leclaire. That's high praise. Man, almost another point for oh, Robertson. Hi, Michael. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness. Okay. Really nice chance by Robertson at the end, but I mean the Habs are guys. The Habs are leading. We're talking about the Habs. Everybody's talking about the Habs like they're awful and they're not a playoff team and they're too small and they're too this and that and they're leading the Dallas Stars, who I think are one of two like the best teams in the league. I think the two best teams in the league, I think, are in the same division. I think Colorado's the best team. I think Dallas is the second best team. They're leading Dallas at the end of a road trip 3-2 and are outshooting them 23-14. And a bunch of people in the comments are like, these Habs team, they're not a playoff team. Come on, man. Are you not entertained? Wait, hold on. Watch the Brady fight. Yes, okay, hold on. I'm going to go look this up. So I finally know what you guys are talking about. Okay. Logan Stanley shoves and him are shoving each other into the boards. Oh yeah. That is a cheap shot. Yeah. Guys, I just watched it. Looked like a cheap shot to me. The referee was already coming, the official was already coming in. Logan dropped one glove and punched him. They weren't even really fighting. And the referee was coming in. I don't know. I I gotta agree with Brady, man. Watch why Logan hit him. Well, I saw them like shoving each other into the board, into the bench. Is that what you mean? That was what the highlights showed me. Nobody breaks their sticks more than Masson. Nobody. And now like I can't unsee it. Now that happens all the time. How? Well, I didn't see like the initial play, but like the official is coming in to break it up, and like they're like Kachuk's already tangled up. Like he can't drop his gloves, and then Logan just drops one glove and clocks him. That to me is a cheap shot. I did see the bandage on his hand, but it was a quick. I was watching just like a quick replay of it. I don't know, and I can't speak to like the other things. Like in a vacuum, I would say. Like yes, Brady complains a lot, but in a vacuum, I don't know. I got to side with Brady on this one. Bruna says the only problem is the Habs can't hold on to a lead. Well, they've held on to quite a few this year. I know they're a bit. I know it's a bit yo-yo-y sometimes, but or build on a lead. I mean, they have more wins than losses this season. They're playing well. Man, I don't know. I don't think they're that. They are the comeback kids. They tend to come back in the third period, which is not like, yeah, they're not a leading after two and holding a lead type, but I would imagine their record when leading after two periods is pretty solid. I don't think they give up that many wins in the third period. I might be wrong there. After Brady tried to dump him into the Sens bench, well, it looked like they were pushing each other into the bench. I don't know. Do you want me to watch it? Let me watch it again. I feel like the way that you're describing it is a little different from how I saw it. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna watch it again. Hold on. Okay, so I mean the official's already in there, and Brady's holding the punch is like Like that's the issue. Oh, it's Brady that has the bandage. That's why he's not throwing the punch. I see. And he's mad. But okay, I'm watching this again. So they're shoving each other into the board. See, Logan does the initial shove, and then Brady shoves him, definitely shoves him harder. And then, okay, now the officials come in. The official is holding back Brady Kachuk, and then Logan drops one glove, grabs Brady by the scruff here, and then clocks him with the other hand, with his right hand. But the official is holding them, is trying to hold them apart. And that's why you shouldn't throw a punch. You can't throw a punch when the ref is in there. That's why I think it's a cheap shot. Here, Rick, I just Googled the Kachuk play yesterday. He instigated the fight, as he does, but then Stanley does sucker punch him. Not debating whether he deserved it, but it is cheap. I agree, Kelly. That's how I see it too. I also see it that way. I see that, like, yes, Brady started it, but when the official like comes in to like break it up, you can't drop a glove and throw a punch. I don't think. That's what I think. So I don't know. I mean, still funny play. Still funny play. Chuck's real mad, but well, I have to say, Gary, your prediction of a five was a 5-2 Stars win. You said already can't happen. So it's 3-2 Habs. So you're gonna have to root for three goals from the Stars in the third period to kind of make it somewhat close to your prediction. Brady has done this many times. Well, I'm not denying that. And no honor among thieves, right? But if you think a fight automatically stops when a ref tries to break up a fight, I think you can't drop the glove after the ref has like is holding you both. You can't then just like drop the glove and like I don't know. I do think that's cheap. I do think that is a cheap shot. Like there are moments where like the ref gets in the way and then the guys keep like shoving each other. That happens. But then there's also moments where like the ref does it and the players like say, "Hey, like let us go. We're gonna go," and then they go. Um, but I think in this instance, they're holding them back. Kachuk cannot fight, and then Logan just kind of he's a big guy too, so he like kind of reaches around and does the punch. I don't know. Look, I'm not like wedded to this, but I do think that Kachuk is in the right to be upset. This is the first time I've seen this new live blog. It's really enjoyable, and you're doing a great job. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you so much for joining. Uh, it's a good game too, which always helps. Sometimes these games are not that good. I was like this close to doing yesterday's game, but I was still kind of off. Still on vacation, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because that game would have put me to sleep. Right? All right, we got some odds coming in here. Hey, Mark, I know I didn't. I wasn't super like notifying the world about it because I'm still kind of like off, and I don't. I kind of wake up in the morning and I'm like, can I do this or can I not do this? Am I feeling like ready to give you my all? But I will say, Mark, after today, I'm going to be pretty regular during the season. Maybe not always on the weekends. I won't always do the Saturday games, but I will pretty much do like all the weeknight games. I think for certainly till the spring. So thank you for joining. By the way, Happy New Year, Mark. By the way, was I off like Gary off? I mean, I was still working. Actually, I didn't get like that much time off, but I was kind of off like evenings, basically to see fam. You know, I had a lot of like family commitments and things like that, so I decided to just kind of take a little break. All right, hold on. I got to get so the deserve to win meter has changed a lot. The money puck deserve to win meter is now 70% tilted in the Habs' favor. That's pretty good. And then on Poly Market, the Habs are 65%. Not bad. And then where are we at on high danger chances? The Stars are 8-4 in high danger chances. The Canadiens have 14 scoring chances, 4 high danger chances. The Stars have 14 scoring chances, 8 high danger chances. So more high danger chances the for the Stars, which I think probably jives with what everybody saw. But the Canadiens were pretty dominant in the second. They outshot Dallas 15-7 in the second period. Now they also did have some power play help, which was nice. Anybody pissed that Sam Bennett isn't on Team Canada? Sorelli should not be on the team. I know he's a penalty killer defensive guy, but Bennett could do that while providing grit and scoring. This is a total like this is something that Team Canada does where they definitely like to reward. They reward continuity. So Sorelli gets in on the Four Nations team because John Cooper's the coach, and John Cooper's like, I need my guy here. Ditto Hagel, although Hagel I think more deserving. Um, and so it just kind of happens again where it's like, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. John Cooper's still there, so he's the coach. So they're gonna keep it like that. But I think Bennett, with his performance in the playoffs last year, certainly deserved an opportunity to join the team. But I'm going to tell you that if Bennett got on the team, it would have been at the expense of Suzuki in all likelihood. So I think while it's unfortunate that um, Bennett didn't make it, it would have come at. Suzuki got to make it as a result. Should be a good third. I don't think Dallas are going to fold up, and you have to imagine that the Habs are feeling pretty good about where they're at. At least Tom Wilson can back himself up. Bennett is a backstabbing cheap weasel. My God, Gary, you're going to have to explain to me what why you don't like Sam Bennett. What prompted you to not be a fan of Sam Bennett? You have to let me know, Gary, because I'm not sure. What it was it an incident? I don't remember. Not Suzuki. It would have been Horvat. I'm shocked that Bo Horvat made this team. Shocked, shocked, shocked. That's a good point, actually. Horvat was probably the least of the forwards here. But what an odd name. What an odd choice, Bo Horvat. I like Bo Horvat, but really, he's not that exciting. Solid player. One guy that I'm surprised too, also that like Rob Thomas never got in the conversation. I think Rob Thomas is better than Horvat. No, here since we're talking about Team Canada, the big omission that I want to talk to you guys about. Would you put Matthew Schaefer on Team Canada? I don't know if there was room for him in the end. I don't like Pareko very much. I'm kind of surprised Pareko got in there. Well, I get it. Again, he's a vet. I get it. But would you have put Matt Schaefer? Because Matt Schaefer looks so amazing. Bo Horvat has the speed in his scoring this year. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, honestly, Islanders are looking good. They're looking much better than expected. Patrick was got Horvat, Barzal, and Schaefer buying in on what's otherwise kind of a pretty like humdrum team. Chikrin should have been on over Pareko. Chikrin is just not. He played on the junior team, I remember, a couple of years. He was a pretty highly touted junior defenseman, but he hasn't really gotten much love from Hockey Canada since then. He seems like a bit of an odd duck. I wonder if that's a personality thing for Chikrin that he doesn't get on. That's my assessment. So, yes, you would have put either Schaefer or Chikrin. Yeah. I mean, I get the Pareko thing is, I think, because he's a right handed defenseman and he's got a lot of experience and he hasn't done anything to like get himself off the team, but he's not a particularly exciting player to me, which I guess is fine. You don't always have to have exciting players. They brought back the entire Four Nations defense. Yeah, exactly, right? Which I don't know. I don't know if that's like the right move in the end. I understand they did barely win that game, and U.S. Arguably played better, and Bennington outplayed them. So I don't know. I'm not like totally convinced that'll be the right move. I also think Sweden and Finland are going to be a lot better playing in Europe. I think the Swedish team looks really deep to me. They have struggled in big games, but this could be the one. Definitely put Schaefer on Team Canada. He's making guys asking who is Lane Hudson. Already twice the defenseman Hudson will ever be. Well, I knew you were gonna put a little shot into the Canadians on that one, but you like Schaefer. That was what I wanted to know. Okay, we're back for the third period here. Even old man Dowdy has me wondering. We'll love him, but I think his best days are gone. I think they totally brought back Dowdy to have the Dowdy Crosby 2010 connection and to have them potentially win a third gold medal. That to me is the only reason why Dowdy's there. And that he's like good enough to still do it. But I hope they don't plan on leaning on him too much. USA are worse this year. There's for all the controversy of like who Canada named, there's way more controversy for the US team. They left off Adam Fox, they left off Jason Robert, they left off Jason Robertson. Forget Caulfield. I would have taken Robertson over Caulfield. And they did not take Jason Robertson. It's Bill Guerin is I don't know if he's a genius or a moron, but the man does what he does. He like lives to the beat of his own drum. I think the US will regret not taking Hudson. I kind of get the like, well, we have Hughes and we don't like want too many of these types of guys. I get it, but Hudson's really good. Is the arena completed in Italy? It yes, it will be completed on time. I Olympic Stadium style. No, there'll be a roof, but I mean it'll be ready, but in what condition it'll be in, I don't know. In my opinion, Team Canada has better forwards. USA has better D in goaltending. That's my 2 cents. I agree. I agree. That's exactly how I see it as well. Hellebuck is not a big game goalie. In big games, I take Binnington over Hellebuck. I wonder if they'll maybe try Ottinger this time on account of Hellebuck being hurt for a lot of this season. They can make an excuse saying that, hey, he's not like totally himself. Let's put Ottinger in. I'd probably put Ottinger. I'd consider it. I would consider it at least. call me what you want, but Russia needs to be back in. Yeah, I mean, look, the decision of whether Russia plays obviously is above all of our pay grade. So I don't need to know your opinion, but I will say it does. It's not quite the same without Russia in there. So who wins gold? I'm still gonna say Canada legs it out and wins. Nick Suzuki game winning goal. How about that? Golden goal from Nick Suzuki. No, we don't. I assume this is in reference to Russia being back in. Yes, still very, very thorny subject. They will not be back. I know they've been trying to get back in. No dice so far. So Dallas are second in the league in third period goals. So the Canadians are definitely should not be feeling super comfortable. I agree with Blue. Bennington was amazing in the Four Nations final. He was. And he was amazing yesterday against the Habs. Not as challenging as Team USA, obviously, but still a good team. The Russian team has nothing to do with politics. Let them in. There's another take from Ryan on Team Russia. I don't know what's going to happen. I think they're going to get back in eventually, but who knows under what circumstances. Even saying the States has better defense, when looking at it, Canada has definitely better defensive defensemen. And normally I would tell you, well, on international ice, how what will that do? But as you guys know, the Italian rink is actually going to be smaller than the NHL. I don't know if that's how it's going to end up being, but I guess so. So a big guy like Colton Parayko might stand to benefit even more in this environment, which would be very strange. So it'll be interesting to see how. Wow, what a play by Matheson. Bork would have been off to the races there. Great play by Matheson to cut up that pass. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how physical the Olympics are because obviously the Four Nations ended up becoming way more physical than expected, but they were basically playing under NHL rules. It was an NHL exhibition series. What a save by Montembeau and Heiskanen. Heiskanen coming down from the point, wide open chance. Um, oh boy, giveaway by the. Hey, what a big save by Montembeau on the Habs giveaway there. Unreal. The rink issue is insane to me. I really hope it's ready and no one gets hurt. I know. It wouldn't that be awful if I mean somebody's obviously gonna get hurt because it's hockey and something will happen, but if because of like the small arena, like things go crazy. I mean, these are finely tuned athletes. They're used to playing, very set parameters for the game. So for the ice or for the arena to not be like to playing to expectations is a very odd situation. You see Suzuki as a third line center killing penalties on Team Canada. That is I think he would do that job very well if that's what he ends up doing. No broken sticks so far in the third. Well, give it time. We're only 6 minutes in. Plenty of time for a stick to break. Don't hopefully you don't jinx them now. And we got a penalty, I'm sure. Somebody is down, and is he bleeding? Jamie Benn is down in the Hab zone. It looks like it's gonna be a 4 minute. Yeah. So what are we looking at here? Is it gonna be a 4 minute power play? It was behind, kind of behind the. It wasn't behind the play, but it was as the puck was leaving the zone. Ben went down in a hurry and left the ice after the whistle with a trail of blood and a towel to his face. So not a good sign. Definitely, Dallas Stars already the second best scoring team in the third period this season. Already an elite power play scoring team. Potentially getting a 4 minute power play at 13:42 of the third period. Could be a disastrous situation. We'll see what happens. They're on a break right now, so we're going to see what happens after. Suzuki will play wing at the Olympics, in my opinion. Well, they got a lot of centers, so somebody's playing wing. So that definitely is a possibility, especially since he's the younger guy. They may be more inclined to put him on the wing. Interestingly, no ref had their arm up, but the linesman can call stick fouls. Was a penalty even called or just an injury whistle? We're about to find out after they come back from the break. All right, let's see here. No, Ben fell face first on the ice. Guys, that was not a high stick. He wiped out. Got tangled up with Bolduc and Gallagher. They're showing some Montembeau replays here. Man, that was a great save on Heiskanen. Really came out aggressively on that one. Montembeau's still a little ginger when he comes out. He still looks kind of weird, but hey, 44 saves on 48 shots. That's no good for Ben. He is also one of the very few players, I think there's 4 players left, that are grandfathered in that play without a visor. So he's old. He's an old man. He can play without a visor if he wants, and didn't do him much good there because he went face first into the ice. 44 saves on 48 shots for Montembeau since coming back from his conditioning stint. How you guys feeling? I know the first goal is a bit shaky, but he's been good tonight. I'm curious to know what you guys think about Montembeau. All right, so no. I mean, other than obvious damage to Jamie Benn, no damage to the Habs power play wise. Oof, Hints in the slot, man, had a shot. Had a hard shot, but I think it got deflected wide. He's playing well. Yeah, you feeling decent about Montebo since coming back? I think he. I mean, look, still time left. I'm not going to make any judgment, but I'll talk about it in about last night. I'm sure about sort of where we stand with the goalies now that the road trip is just about in the 12:51 away from potentially being in the rearview mirror, barring, of course, an overtime. Oh, two nice plays by Dobson there. Made the initial kind of feed that got deflected in front, and then he went into the slot and got a second chance. I don't care that Monty is a career 903 goalie. What he does is only value in trade at this point, in my opinion. I think we're still a ways from Fowler taking the job, so I do think it still matters that he plays well. I don't think that trade is coming just yet. Ooh, Montembeau's positioning is way better. He was overcommitting before. I agree. He's definitely tonight. He's moving quite well. Concussion for Ben, definitely a possibility. Didn't look good. Yes, Ben is one of four players without an NHL visor. I guess who's left? Like Reeves, Burns. I don't remember the other guy. Oh, Gallagher coming down the wing. Andre makes a save. Will Montembeau bring the Habs a cup? Doubtful. True, but the Canadians are also not thinking about a cup this year. So I don't think they need to necessarily trade him right away. If you think Olympic teams and the Olympics have nothing to do with politics, the mind boggles. Yes, there is a long history of Olympic competition and politics, of course. Uh, those who remember the 1980s, and they were, you know how it goes. Okay, just join in. What did I miss? More offense from the Slavkovsky line. He's got 2 points tonight. Montembeau playing pretty well, I must say. Those are probably the main things. And then the Canadians looked pretty weak on the power play. And then all of a sudden, Slav scored on the power play. So now not so bad. And Jamie Benn face planted on the ice and looked pretty bad. Waiting on Fowler. All of this is not playoffs ready at the moment, but it's coming. Yeah, I think when the time comes, Fowler will be the goalie. The time's not there yet, though, so you can keep Montembeau for a while. Oh, Bogosian was the first one. O'Reilly. Uh, does Brent Burns not play hockey anymore, or does he have a visor? He's a visor. Oh, I guess he has a visor. Teams don't carry three goalies. Yeah, I think they're going to send down Fowler on Monday. Here's the issue with Monty, Dobish, and Fowler. You can't get their best unless they play consistently, and every 3 games is inconsistent. I agree. And then here's Bruno. If Monty gets the win, Fowler gets sent down. I think that's kind of how it goes. Not even the win. I think Montembeau's already played well enough that the decision's probably made here. Fowler will likely go down to get number one playing time for a little while longer, is my guess. I agree with you, Timur. But yes, I think we all can see that Fowler has the most upside of the three goalies and is the one that looks most likely that they'll be a number one. Oh, oh my God, Montembeau, get back in the net, my dude. He was way out of the net, but the Canadians got to get the puck back. It's not his fault. He made a great acrobatic save there, and then got really taken out of his net. I mean, the Dallas Stars are absolutely hammering away right now. Canadians finally dump it down. It was a Slavkovsky giveaway, I think, that like caused that whole thing to start going. If one has to go, I hope it's Monty. We can't afford to have a goalie who allows one or two or five gift goals a game. Yeah, but he's the veteran, and I don't think you can trust having like a 24 and a 22 or 21-year-old goaltender and no veteran. So I think Monty's your man until somebody else like makes it 100% completely clear that Monty is done so. Huge save for Monty. I know he's having a good night. He's up to 20 saves on the night. So what happened here? So that's a great play. Oh, two great plays on Montembeau. But he made the stop. St. Louis has his goatee back. My wife told me about like maybe keeping this. I got like a bit of a Christmas beard going. Ah, it's tied up. There you go. Right off the draw, the Canadians lose a big draw in the offensive zone, and Wyatt Johnston has his second goal of the night. That was a Dano loss, and then the puck goes down the boards. Heiskanen does all the way below the net, below the goal line, behind the net, takes guys with him. Johnson's able to set up. Matheson has no clue where he is. He's wide open. Just another situation where this period is picking up. Dallas has turned on the Jets in the way that only elite teams can truly do. They're really good. Lost faceoff. Yeah, that one definitely hangs on Dano. It's why they brought him to win faceoffs like that. Could see that one coming. We were getting run around and getting out muscled in our own end. Frig, I hate knowing an opposition goal is on the way, and sure enough, we saw that coming, as Al says. No chance for Monty, man. He made a couple big saves on that sequence. And now, again, they're able to like get Dallas is just absolutely pounding away here. Another big save by Montembeau. Yeah, I mean, it's like they're on the power play right now. Hang on for OT. There's 7:38 left, and or 7:48 left, and Dallas are just all over the Habs at the moment. Crowd is buzzing. Canadians look completely lost. Dallas are looking like the elite team that they are. If Habs finally clear and get it out, you can smell the goal was coming. Yeah. And it doesn't look like Dallas is done. The Canadians are really going to have to gut check here. Can we win a puck battle? Not against a Dallas team that just is so good. Call a timeout. Well, they've seemed like they've kind of. I mean, there hasn't been a whistle in quite some time, so they might need to hold on to that one. Don't have the assists yet on NHL.com. I heard Duchesne, and I know obviously Wyatt Johnson scored. I mean, look at Kapanen and Slavkovsky, man. They're in the corner in the Dallas zone, and they are not letting the puck leave, and they wasted like a minute. That was impressive. And then Slavkovsky with a no look pass, and Dallas takes it up the ice. My dude, you cannot do that. Those are those moments where you're like, oh yeah, Slav is like improving by leaps and bounds, but he still is prone to a couple of, boneheaded plays a game. There you go. Oh, Bolduc, man. Gallagher flipped it to him entering the zone, and Bolduc, man, showed a lot of speed. Really nice chance, but Ottinger made the save. Oh, Rantanen gets by the Habs D. Oh, and then they left penalty for the Habs. Rantanen absolutely blew by his guy. And now Dallas are extra skater in the zone. Habs finally get it. 5-11. Oh, man. This game is getting tense. What's going to happen? You I mean, we were told that Dallas are a real good third period team, and they're showing it. Yikes. Okay, now we're on break, and the goal is updated. Johnston has a second goal of the night. Heiskanen with an assist, and Matt Duchene. Only 5 assists for Matt Duchene this season. Has he been injured? I haven't been following Matt Duchene so far this year. Gut check time. This is time for my guts. My guts are all right now. This is a good game. This is a good game for me to come back to. I'm happy to be back, guys. Happy to be doing these games, man. These are fun. Hey, man, win or lose, this Canadians team, man, they don't keep it boring. Except for yesterday. Yesterday was a boring game. This is where Monty has to earn his money. Yeah, this is where he's going to be tested right about now. Derek says they're physically overwhelming the Habs. They sure are. Mark, sure looks like the back to back is having an effect. Oh boy. And we got Dano going into the box, which is not good. He is obviously. Canes are running out of energy. Bad feeling about the PK. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, Rantanen absolutely blew by him. Dano had to hook him. There wasn't much he can do on that. He got beat. Dallas is really that good. I think they're the second best team in the league. I think Colorado, obviously, heads and tails, class of the league. And then I think Dallas is like the class second best team in the league. And I think everybody else is just sucking on their fumes. A big clear by Matheson to start the power play for Dallas. They needed that. All right, puck's in the corner now in the Habs zone. It's 4:41 left, 1:30 left in the power play. It's tied 3-3. This has been Dano's been useless. He's having a bad year. That wasn't going to change with the trade. I mean, the team's been playing pretty well since they got him. I know he himself is not contributing to the offense, but he's taken a lot of tough defensive assignments, and I think being like a pretty okay player. I don't hate what I've seen from Deno so far. He's not the guy he once was, but oh, what a wow! The Stars take a penalty with 49 seconds left. What a break for the Habs, man. Johnson Hooks Dobson. They're both fighting it out right on the top of the crease. And we're going to go to 4-on-4 for 49 seconds. What a break for the Habs, man. I think that power play, we all had a sick feeling in our stomach. And now they get a face off in the offensive zone, 4-on-4. This is huge. Yeah, we're getting a lot of opinions on Dano. Some of you really think he's not playing well. Some of you like him a lot. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised that opinions on Dano are very mixed so far. But oh, it's gonna be 2-on-1 Dallas. I gotta watch out. I mean, what a play by Suzuki to get back and not take the penalty. Now it's a 40-second power play for the Habs. Can they do anything with it? They've got the puck now. They've entered the zone. They got to get it back to the point, though. Nah, it doesn't look like they're going to get anything going. Nope. This is going to go back to 5-on-5 with 2:13 to go. My goodness. I mean, if the Habs can escape Dallas with a point, I think you guys would be pretty happy about that. Another overtime game. We do love them. Now, Dallas are pressing in the offensive zone and trying to get something going. For a third line center getting paid that much, that's tough. Yeah, but it's like money that the Habs don't really like. It's mostly just like injury and cap accrual money. It's not like he's not signed like super long term. He's got a year after this. I don't think the money. Yeah, exactly. Like, who cares? They don't really have any cap issues. And remember, yeah, I don't think it's like such a huge. Okay, we're in the final minute here of regulation. A point against Dallas would be great. Two would be better. Michael Paul wants 2 points. Adam's very happy with the potential of a point here, but was expecting a blowout loss. Well, the blowout loss didn't happen, and they are 36 seconds away from going to overtime. And as we mentioned earlier, way too many of these games are going to overtime, and right now neither team is really pressing to do much of anything. They are both very happy to get a point and go for two in overtime. I'm totally the opposite. I hate 3-on-3. Well, you're about to see it. They need an over and back rule or something, so you can't leave the offensive zone to regroup. Looking like OT. It is indeed OT. I mean, What a great road trip. 3-on-3 should favor the Habs. Ooh, but Dallas got some talented players. I'm not so sure about that one. Well-earned point. Hey, who's winning the game? It's 3-3. It's going to overtime, Kenny. 3-3 going to overtime, Kenny. If you missed the earlier message. Very impressive trip. So it's at least 11 points out of 16 on this road trip. Yeah, something like that, right? Watch Goal Caulfield in OT. Let's see if he's got some more magic in him. 9 of 14. Well, let's see. They're 3-1-2 on the road trip. So they got so 9 out of 12, correct, right? Long road trip for me too. Okay, here we go. Dallas won the face off, but now they're dilly-dallying back into the middle of the ice, and they're sort of having trouble with it. This was not talked about earlier, the U.S. team losing, I will say. Here we go, Hudson. Oh, nope. They double back. Matheson blowing down the ice, and I don't know if he missed it wide or if Ottinger got a piece of that one, but it does fling back into the defensive zone. And now Slavkovsky, come on, no, don't pass, just enter the zone. Why do you got to drop it back? Come on, man. Slav does like to drop back. No, this time he enters the zone. And he blows his way through. Tries to use the guy as a screen. Puck gets blocked. Is really Sam Steele playing? All right. Oh, Duchesne given the chance in the middle of the slot. And Montembeault makes the save. That was his first big test in this overtime period, and he passed. Why not use a $6 million man to win the initial draw? Because he's, I think, having a terrible night on faceoffs, actually. Hold on, let me check. No, he's at 70% tonight. I don't know why RDS was bad mouthing him earlier. All right, Suzuki blows into the zone. Takes a shot. Ooh, nice try by Suzuki, but didn't miss by much. I don't know if he, again, I think Ottinger got a piece of that one. Nah, Johnston, I think the puck deflected off of Johnston. Canadians are trying to shoot through screens off the rush, and so far, Dallas have done a good job getting their sticks in the way, but all it takes is one, right? All right, Heiskin, another face-off win for Dallas. Heiskanen very slowly looking to make his way up. Oh, what a play. What a save by Montembeault. Montembeault just saved the game off that breakaway. What was that, Johnston? Who's 53 for Dallas? That's like Johnson, right? Yeah, Wyatt Johnson almost had a Wyatt Johnson almost had a breakaway goal there. What a play by Heiskanen to feed him the puck. And Montembeault, the only thing, man, keeping the Abs in this. Rantanen tripped his guy, and now it sent the puck up the ice. Habs were definitely looking for a penalty. No penalties coming. There's 2 minutes left in overtime. You're gonna have to like cut somebody's head off, I think, to get a power play at this point. Why is Deno on the ice? Definitely to win faceoffs. 70% faceoff heading into overtime. Quick trivia: best faceoff guy of all time. It was Yannick Perreault. Solid Hab. Slav enters his zone using a screen. Now he gets the puck to Dobson. Now the Habs have the puck in the zone. They got a chance here. They just can't seem to get a puck. They keep trying to get the puck through the screen, and the puck keeps deflecting off the screen and going wide. They've had their chances tonight, man. It's 27-27 in shots. What a save by Montembeault. They just showed the replay on Wyatt Johnson. That just won him the number one job back. I'm happy for Montembeault. It always was inexplicable to me that he just like fell off so fast. Montembeault is the man again. Let's hope it lasts. The Canadiens, to make the playoffs, need it to last. They need Montembeault to be Montembeault to at least give him a shot every night. So Danault is taking the offensive zone faceoff here with 1:27 to go, and he wins a hard-fought one. And now the puck goes back to Hudson, who's got all kinds of space in the world, and he wins it. It's over. Lane Hudson. What a play. You guys were begging for Danault to take, or you guys are asking about why Danault is taking the faceoffs. Danault wins the offensive zone faceoff, gets it to Hudson. Hudson's got all the room in the world. Hudson blows it by Ottinger. It's over. The Canadiens win 4-3 in overtime in Dallas, one of the toughest places to play in the league. They erase a 7-0 loss earlier in the season at Dallas, where the most embarrassing loss of the season. Lane Hudson. Phil Danault's got 2 points tonight. 401 in his career. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. What an end. Canadiens end their road trip with a 4-1-2 record. They head back home. They survived. The Habs not only survived, they thrived in the road trip from hell. Clearly, they don't like playing. Home cooking's not helping them. They like to be out on the road. They like the U.S. chain food. I don't know. Take care, Rick. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. The Canadiens get a little break after this long, difficult road trip. Then they play another back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll be back for that. Maybe they should stay on the road. I know. Maybe when they're at home, put them up in a hotel. They'll feel like they're on the road. How about that? I think Habs fans still want to see them play. How are the Broncos doing? I think I picked them as well in my picks pool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as always, you guys can check out about last night. Gonna write it up now. You guys can see it later. You guys can also see all the highlights on the live blog replay on the Montreal Gazette website. Follow the link in the comments. The comments will disappear fairly quickly. So I do forewarn you when I end this, the comments will disappear. They will live on in the video that you can watch at your leisure. But yes, let me get the final goal up, and then that'll be that. What a game, though. What a game. What a road trip. I don't know. You guys might discount this Habs team at your own peril. I was reminded of the great Red Fisher the other day, who said, "Where are the players?" That was his whole thing. Where are the players? When, Marc Bergevin was trying to sell people on a rebuild and things like that. Well, I think we have the players now. Hudson was a player, and he played tonight. It's still a mystery to me how the team doesn't play well against bottom feeders, but can stand up against the big boys. I know they lost against the freaking Blues. Blues are terrible. Doesn't make any sense to me either. Anyways, thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Mark. We'll be back Wednesday. I swear to God, we'll be back Wednesday, and we're gonna do them. We're gonna do them more. And my schedule is now like, now that the break is over, my schedule has leveled itself off, and you're gonna see me on these games. So I enjoy having them too. I enjoy having you guys around, and yeah, peace out. Thank you so much for joining. Uh, yeah, we'll redo this next week back at home. Hopefully the Canadians can keep the momentum going.